Welcome to No Flipping Excuses with Jason Lucchese. Jason Lucchese was the guy voted least likely to succeed by his high school peers. Today, Jason's a real estate flipping ninja Jedi Knight assassin who's taken his drive, street smarts, and never give up attitude and converted them into a real estate flipping business and freedom-based lifestyle. After years of being chained to a cubicle in the mortgage business, watching his coworkers go bust, customers go bankrupt, and his hairline go bye-bye, Jason decided to make a change and blaze his trail to the flipping promised land. Each episode, Jason shares real-life real estate case studies, tips on how to find, finance, and flip deals, and mindset tactics he uses every day as a real estate investor, mentor, and leader so you can free yourself from the shackles of corporate America, fire your boss, and live the life you've always dreamed of, right flipping now. Here to share the truth about flipping houses, finding sellers, delivering buyers, real estate investing without the reality show hype, and all-around general business badassery. Your host, Krav Maga enthusiast, husband, and father of three, Jason Lucchese.
Hey, what's going on? It's Jason Lucchese, and welcome to this edition of the No Flipping Excuses show. I'm so excited. We launched the podcast. We're getting such great feedback, and I appreciate you being able to tune in, subscribe to the channel, and get such amazing content delivered to you. We have a great episode in store for you here right now, right here. And before I dive into it, I just want to go ahead and introduce to you, you've heard him before, the ninja, the myth, my good friend, Mr. Michael Bretthauer. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing good, Jason. How you doing today?
I can't complain. Today is a good day. We're getting lots of great feedback on the show, so people like it. So we are going to continue to do these things.
Excellent. I think it's a great thing. I love being on here with you. We always got some really good stuff to talk about, so I'm excited about this one.
Absolutely. And we've got some great stuff that we're going to hop into here in just a second. But before I do that, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, to the show, what I strongly recommend and encourage you to do so you get a notification every time we do a brand new episode is make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave us a fair review. If you could leave us a 5-star review, you may or may not receive, a gift certificate from Dairy Queen, or Mike's going to show up on your doorstep with a case of Cinnabon or something like that. Right, Mike?
Again, I don't think the Cinnabon will make it all the way there because, I like Cinnabon.
Oh yeah, I think this is the second time we've talked about it, about Cinnabon. So I won't talk about it hopefully until our 100th episode. They'll give us a little bit of time to really,
Get some Cinnabon.
Soak it in a little bit. So please do that. Leave us a review, subscribe to the channel. That helps us out quite a bit. A 5-star review helps us out tremendously. And it also gives me the energy to continue to do these because we're doing these out of our spare time, which really isn't a lot, but I want to make sure that I'm giving folks out there the information that they need. When I was just starting out as a real estate investor, podcasts weren't really available. And trust me, this wasn't like a super long time ago. Like I'm talking like, hey, do you remember when cheeseburgers were 5 cents at McDonald's? It's not that long ago. It was just, I started off in beginning of 2008. So podcasts weren't really like super available at that time, but I wanted to do this because I really wanted to give back in a way to where you have the tools that you need to be successful as a real estate investor. So let's hop into something that's been kind of circling. If you haven't seen or heard of this, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have recently introduced a new product that gives individuals with, I believe it's going to be like a high 600 FICO score. So your credit has to be decent. But what they're doing is they're doing appraisal-free loans. So this is actually a really cool time in our economy. We've really never seen a real estate opportunity like right now. And that means, like, we had a great opportunity when the recession happened in '08, where there was a lot of distressed assets that you were able to get involved with and pick them up. But right now, I've never seen this before. And I've been in the real estate business for a while. Before I became a full-time investor, I was in the mortgage business. I was in that business from started in 2002. So I've seen a lot of different type of ups and downs because the market's very, cyclical. So the 100% appraisal free loan is just giving a lot more confidence to the market. And I believe the market's going to continue to stay in a really good position. Right now is a great time to be getting involved in this business. Or if you've been listening to either our podcast or other podcasts in the past, I would tell you, like, a lot of them out there are filled with lots of great information. It's time to get off the seat there and start making things happen for you and your business. So Mike, what do you think about, some of these new loans that are coming out?
There's some really good loans out there. Interest rates are really low at this time. They are starting to come back up, which is showing a strong sign that the market is kind of bouncing back, and housing sales are kind of going through the roof. In fact, now is the time in many markets where supply is not able to keep up with demand because people are really trying to buy up houses. In fact, if you kind of look at the news and kind of look at statistics, a lot of overseas buyers are actually buying. In fact, it's up 49% in the past year. So it is a very strong market, and the loans out there are getting very, solid, and you're able to get 30-year fixes at 4% or 3.875. So it's really good loans that you can get.
No, absolutely. And some people were a little worried and skeptical at first, especially when adjustable rate mortgages were starting to be introduced back to the marketplace. But hopefully we've learned from our mistakes here in the past, and we're starting to really kind of see what is really available. And the adjustable rate mortgages, they're people really need to understand that, after a certain period of time, whatever that arm is available for, either it be a 3-year, 5-year, 7-year, whatever you're getting involved with, people just have to understand that the rate does adjust after, your period of time with the arm is done. So I just don't think it was properly explained to people, especially the first time around, because when we were with the mortgage company that I was with, Countrywide Home Loans, we were able to give, 100% financing to folks that had a 580 FICO score. So it was pretty crazy. I'm starting to see individuals not really be at that level as much. I'm starting to see you really need to be at like a 640, 660. You need to be at a much higher score. So that's something that I really wanted to bring and share with you right now, just to kind of give you some insights of what we're seeing as, full-time real estate investors that have been doing this business for a long period of time. It's a great time to be involved. And one of the things that we're going to be discussing here today is really, I want to discuss with you finding good quality cash buyers, like where to find them, what questions to ask, what happens if you don't vet them out properly, and much more. And the main reason why I really wanted to devote a solid episode to this is because when I first got started in this business back in 2008, I remember, talking to individuals that said they were cash buyers. And one that really stands out was this individual. He said he was a cash buyer. I met him at a real estate investors association meeting, and the guy said, yeah, I'm a cash buyer, and if I don't like the deal, I have a list of 500 cash buyers. And I'm like, oh, cool. In the back of my mind, I was thinking I hit the jackpot here. Well, lo and behold, I go ahead, I start sending this guy some deals, and he's not really being responsive. He's not giving me any feedback on if he wants the deals or not. So I called him, I texted him, and eventually, I found out that, I never judge a book by its cover. He had this late 80s model. It was a Mercedes, and it kind of looked like it was beat up. So I didn't really judge that. But what I really started to find out from other individuals, other wholesalers, because you'll find out the real estate community in general is very tight knit. It's very small. Trust me, if you do something that is not in good favor, you're going to find out quite a bit about somebody fast. So I found out the guy rarely closes on deals. He still lives with mom and dad. And, the guy just sleeps like 12, 14 hours a day. So he wasn't really like serious. So when I was thinking the guy was blowing me off and he wasn't responding to me, that wasn't the case. He was sleeping. He was sleeping until noon, 1 o'clock. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So that was my first taste of, don't just take somebody's word, because I'll tell you this, you'll get burned. You have to do some proper vetting. And I didn't know that in the beginning when I was just getting started. I was literally taking everybody's word, like, oh, you're a cash buyer? Great. Tell me a little bit about you and your business. And it just never really worked out. So that's why it's really important that you stay tuned. We're going to be hopping in and discussing some very important topics that you are definitely going to want to know for finding and vetting your cash buyers. I've got a lot of information to give you, so you're going to want to stick around. Make sure you have a notepad out, something handy to write with. I know this is a podcast, so you could go back and forth on the information, but you're going to want to have this out, and you're going to want to take some notes on, the important things here for finding the right cash buyers, what questions you should ask them, and what happens if you don't vet them out properly. So we're going to be going over a bunch of stuff here. Stay tuned. I will talk to you here in just a second. I hear from real estate investors how much of a challenge it is finding motivated sellers. This is happening all over the country. Real estate investors not knowing where their next deal will come from. I can tell you on page 141 of my book, Right Flipping Now, I address how you can easily find deeply discounted off-market deals. The 98% of investors out there don't have a clue about this. You can easily duplicate this process within your own business today. Grab a copy of my book now at getmyflippingbook.com. And you could start finding deals for 50, 40, and 30 cents on the dollar without any competition. I have copies of my book available right now at getmyflippingbook.com. And you can have a step-by-step plan for making profits within the next 30 to 60 days. Go to getmyflippingbook.com. That's getmyflippingbook.com. It's www.getmyflippingbook.com. Hey, welcome back. All right, well, let's dive right in to the content and give you all the information you need. So the one thing I was telling you, like within that story that I just mentioned not too long ago, I wanted to find out from you, have you really started to put together your list of cash buyers? Because a lot of people are like, yeah, I've got like 100, 500, some people even say I've got thousands. All you really need is just a handful of them, because at the end of the day, one person's going to buy either your deal or a package of deals. It's not going to be all 30,000 people on the list. That wouldn't make sense. So one of the things is, in the beginning, a lot of investors, they're looking to do wholesale transactions. They haven't really started to build up their cash buyers list. And, I strongly recommend that you have a solid business plan in place for getting the buyers, because a lot of people, they tend to lose a lot of momentum before they even get started with getting the business. Because what I did when I first got started is I started finding deals, and I thought like I had some amazing deals. I was like, these are great deals. Like, I don't know if I could, get better deals than this. I was basically, trying to get rid of these deals, and I had them under contract, which I thought were at great prices, but I felt like I had my hands tied behind my back and I couldn't get the deal gone. And what I felt like at that point was I was driving around talking to real estate agents. I was talking to whomever I could to try and get these deals just liquidated as quickly as possible. And I couldn't, because I didn't have a cash buyers list. And when I'm ever working with like a student or somebody that's going through our program and they're like, well, where should I start? I always recommend start at the beginning. Even if you're a veteran and maybe you're not finding the momentum that you want within your business, more than likely it always comes back to the foundation. Because I'll tell you this, I'm a Krav Maga instructor. If you haven't listened to any of the previous episodes, I do that. I'm a Krav Maga instructor as well. I do it maybe like once or twice a week. I teach. And the first thing that I was taught as an instructor was always look at the individual's feet. You'll be able to find out right off the bat, what is wrong with, them executing a certain technique. And Krav's not the, most technical, but again, it comes back to the base. It comes back to the foundation. So once I, started developing as an instructor, the first thing that I started doing was I started looking at everybody's feet. And the same thing goes, you don't have to look at people's feet as a real estate investor, but you do have to look at your own foundation. You have to look at your foundation as a real estate investor, and you need to get a plan put in place for really finding your cash buyers. So this is the real important part here. Having a cash buyers list is going to be night and day between if you just go about this business and you start looking for motivated seller deals that you're looking to wholesale without a cash buyers list. I highly encourage you to get a list of cash buyers because it's going to make the world of difference. Now, how many do you need? I would say maybe 5, 6. If you want to get crazy, you could get up to 10. And I know that's not really like super crazy, but it's just really kind of a big deal that you have your cash buyers already lined up. And what I encourage you to do is once you start getting a list, and we're going to be talking about that here in just a little bit, where to find the right types of cash buyers. One of the big things that I would recommend you do in order to be organized is to just get a free service like MailChimp. MailChimp's going to be a great service for you to use that you could stay organized with your cash buyers, because that's going to be a huge thing. So you don't have to constantly be sending out phone calls, text messages to all these people, because at the end of the day, you're going to really want to try and narrow it down and have your time available to things that are going to be making you money. If you could just send out one email to all of your cash buyers, letting them know about your deal, you're going to save yourself a bunch of time. So maybe you do get up to 10, 12 cash buyers, and now you've got MailChimp, which you can use. You could go up to 2,000 contacts, and you could send out 12,000 emails per month for free. And the deliverability is just phenomenal. It's something that's really, really cool to use, and you could just start implementing MailChimp right away. So I highly encourage you to do that. And Mike, do you have anything that you would recommend as far as, any helpful tools to stay organized, or anything else that I just discussed on the cash buyers?
Absolutely. MailChimp is a great tool. I love it. Like you said, it's free, doesn't cost any money, and it has some great tools for you to use to stay on track with your emails. A good, a CRM, a free one, especially if you're beginning and not trying to get a whole bunch of overhead in your business. A free CRM like HubSpot, HubSpot, it's free, has some good tools, and obviously it has a paid thing like everything else, but for what it is and not paying for it, it'll help you stay organized with your leads, putting together your buyers, putting together in a list so you can keep track of who wants what and what they're looking for. So when you do start making offers on your properties, you can quickly take a look, just pull them up, even pull them up by tags or what they're looking for, and say, okay, great, these are the only people I'm going to send these properties to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that's great. And we're going to be, hopping into here later on within the show, like certain things that you should say and things that you should probably avoid saying, because, yes, we all start off, we're brand new, but some folks don't like working with brand new people. So hopefully within this particular episode, you're going to get some really great feedback on what you should say and what you should really avoid. Mainly the things that we're going to recommend that you should say, those are going to be the things you should do. Anything else that you're thinking of, that should probably be avoided. But I will tell you this, it's one of the worst feelings when you get a house under contract. Maybe you just did a direct mail or something like that, and you've got this deal, it's under contract. You think, oh man, I did a great job. I've got this deal under contract. Next thing you know is you start doubting, like, oh, is this deal going to sell? I've had it for a week. My contract's going to expire, and the owner of record is now asking me for earnest money. It's like, it becomes a whirlwind at that point. Once you have the cash buyers, it becomes so much easier at that point. And what I mean by that is you don't have to have that uncertainty on if a house is going to sell, because you're going to know the criteria from your cash buyers. They're going to tell you that. And you're going to be able to get deals sold pretty quickly. And most of the time when we get deals under contract, they're gone. And the shortest period of time has been about 24 hours. Longest period of time has been about 72 hours. So we're talking about 1 to 3 days here that these properties are getting picked up from one of our cash buyers. So it happens very, very fast, but we were able to figure that out with a lot of trial and error. You don't have to do the trial and error. You're getting all of that information right here, right now on this episode of this particular show for our No Flipping Excuses. So I wanted to give you that. And what we're going to be doing up here coming up in the next few minutes here, we're going to be discussing where are you going to be finding your cash buyers. This is going to be great information that we're going to be sharing. I love this stuff because it's all free. You could do this. You could start finding people immediately for finding your cash buyers. You know, we're going to go over a lot of different ways for you to do that right now. It's going to be a major time saver. And we're going to go into what specific answers should you get from your buyers before you add them to your list. So we talked about MailChimp. Mike discussed HubSpot. So we're going to, talk about, some very important things here. We should talk about what's the best way to get your buyers on the phone. How should you introduce yourself to get their attention? How you can avoid adding buyers before you know they are a good fit for you. So I want you to stay tuned. We're going to be hopping into some really important things that you're going to want to have in your arsenal, in your tool bag here. So stay tuned. We're going to hop into that here in just a second. Have you been struggling to close your first real estate deal? I hear this all the time, and you're not the only person in the not having closed your first deal boat. I was there, and the feeling is horrible. I can tell you on page 103 of my book, Right Flipping Now, I address how you can easily overcome closing your first deal quickly and easily without using any of your own money or credit. My first deal closed when I was on vacation. I made $26,000. You can do the same thing. Grab a copy of my book at getmyflippingbook.com and you can get your first deal closed for massive profits. I have copies of my book available at getmyflippingbook.com, and you can have a step-by-step plan for making profits on your first deal, closing within the next 30 to 60 days. Go to getmyflippingbook.com. That's getmyflippingbook.com. www.getmyflippingbook.com. Hey, welcome back. I am so excited. We're going to be diving into where to find your cash buyers. So hopefully by this point, you really understand the importance of what it really boils down to as far as having the right types of cash buyers and having them on your list. This is the goody stuff that I like to talk about. So this is kind of like Halloween right here. You're getting the trick and the treat all at the same time. So I personally like the Snickers. So you're getting some Snickers right here, right now. So let's talk about this. I'm a big believer in we've got pretty much everything at our fingertips already. A lot of the things that I was doing back in, 2008, where I was driving around, talking to real estate agent after real estate agent and going to a ton of RIA meetings. So RIA's Real Estate Investor Association meetings. I was going to the county recorder's office. I was doing a lot of things that took up a lot of my time. And a lot of you that get into this business truly want what I like, which is called time freedom. And you want to be able to manage your time effectively. So either if you're brand new or not to this business, this is going to be some really great ways for you to use strategies on the internet that are going to allow you to find cash buyers right off the bat. One of the best ones that I would strongly encourage that you use right off the bat, and as we're doing this, I'm going to go onto my computer and just rattle off some of the ones that I really like. So I'm going to gosection8.com. This is a great service, and it's free, 100% for free. As we are recording right now, this is free for you. So if I go on to gosection8.com, let's say, for instance, I type in, let's just say we'll keep it easy. We'll go to Indianapolis, Indiana, right here, and it pulls up 163 listings. So you're probably thinking, well, why would I want to pull up, Section 8 homes? Aren't I trying to find cash buyers? Well, they're all on here. They're all on here for you. So the cool thing about this is, let's say, for instance, I click on one of these houses here. Here's a house. It's a 5-bedroom, 2-bath. It's $1,500 per month. And as soon as I click on here, I get all of the information. The individual who owns the property, the phone number's right here. So I've got Aaron and I've got his phone number right here. So his 317 number is right here, and that area code's for Indianapolis. It gives me all of the details of the property. So Aaron's wanting $1,500 per month. So whoever has a Section 8 coupon can get this house, and maybe they have to pay the difference, but it is a large property, and Section 8 typically gives more of a voucher for these types of homes. So a 5-bedroom, it all depends on the area, but the voucher may actually be enough for the $1,500. Aaron, definitely probably priced this right. And it looks like a really solid Section 8 home. It would probably be like a lower C class property. So it's perfect and ideal. I'm looking at the pictures right now. The hardwoods look good. It actually looks really, really nice on the interior of the property. Exterior looks good too. Looks like they just sanded and finished the hardwoods. It looks like they did all of the trim. They did all the walls. So it's a great property. But what we're boiling down to here is the buyer. So you could call this individual. The phone number's right there. Like, I could literally be either in Indianapolis, or I could be in Italy, or I could be in New Zealand. I could get the phone number right here, right now. So this is just absolutely amazing. Now, I will tell you this, 70% of the individuals on here are going to be the actual owners themselves. 30% of them are going to be relatively property managers. But here's the cool thing. Property managers, what do they manage? This could be a two-deal thing here. You could talk to the property managers because they manage properties for investors. They manage properties for investors, so you can go above and beyond, and you can also start getting some potential great buyers from the property manager, but you could also talk to the property manager. So I know this episode is going to be all about finding cash buyers, but you could also find out from this property manager if they have any potential deals that their investors are wanting to sell. So I'm giving you a 2-for-1 there. So that's definitely something I recommend. If you guys are seeing or viewing this on our blog, the links for it will be below. If you're not already a part of the blog, you could go to noflippingexcuses.com, and our blog is there. So if you want to get show notes or anything like that, any of the links that we talk about in any of the shows, they're all going to be on there. You could go on there and just click on them and you'll be good to go. Again, this is a free site to use. The next one that we're going to discuss is LinkedIn. And as I go on LinkedIn here, again, I've got a free account. I'm going to go ahead and type in my information. And as I do that, my account's going to come up here. Now, if you have a LinkedIn account, most people, they have this, they have this under their head to where they LinkedIn is just for like, posting your resume and, potentially getting a job or anything like that. Trust me, I'm not on here trying to get a job. I'm trying to go on here to, discuss with individuals how we could do business together. And it's completely different than Facebook. I absolutely love Facebook, but sometimes I don't really need to know where you're checking in, or I don't need to see like dessert pictures or anything like that, because it does get me hungry. So LinkedIn's completely different. And the reason why I really like it is because you could find cash buyers easily. If you don't have an account, set it up. The things that I highly encourage, highly recommend is make sure you do a solid profile picture and make sure you have a solid title in there. Make sure you don't leave any stone unturned. So go through there completely, set up your whole entire profile, because people are going to start looking at it, especially if you want to start connecting with these folks. So LinkedIn's got this cool feature to where you could search for other individuals on their site. So you could go to it's up as of right now, as we're recording, it's in the upper left-hand corner. You could go in there, type in real estate investor. So I'm going to type in real estate investor. The things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on people. So click on people and then click on second and third connections. And that area is on the right side. It's like in a column. So you go ahead and they're right there. So you click on connections, click second and third. The main reason why I recommend second and third connections is because these are people that you're not connected with already on LinkedIn. So I highly encourage you connect with myself, connect with Michael. The main reason why is it's like a spider. Once you connect with us, it drips you out to everybody else that we know, and it will pull up a bigger second and third connection database for you. So that's really cool, because right now, as I'm doing this, it's got 211,000 results for real estate investors, and I can narrow it down a little bit more. So say, for instance, I want to go to locations. So if I just do United States, it's going to pull up 164,000 people. Let's say I want to find individuals here. I'm going to go to locations again, and locations again is right below second and third connections. So I'm going to go to Indianapolis. See how many pull up there. So 880 results pull up in there. So again, really cool opportunity. The one thing that I'm going to recommend before we move on to the next thing, make sure you go through, view the profiles, see if it's somebody that's active. The things that I highly encourage you to take a look at before you connect with them is ensure that they have a title, a good solid title, that they've written a summary about themselves, they have skills that they've put on their profile, and they're in at least 3 real estate investing groups. If they don't meet those, I would encourage you to move on to the next. Once you find out that you guys are both in maybe one or the same groups together, then that's going to be a really great idea for you to get involved. That's going to be a really good opportunity for you to seek them out to be a potential cash buyer. And we'll be talking about the proper vetting process here in just a second. So let me talk to you about Facebook. So we're going to switch gears and talk about Facebook. And yes, it does go above and beyond what, people are doing on there right now, where they're, checking in, letting you know that they're at the gym. We all think that's great. You're doing a good job, but they're also posting pictures of, maybe lunch or dinner. There's so much more to it. So if you go up into Facebook's search box, the same area roughly for LinkedIn, you go on here for Facebook and say, for instance, I type in real estate. Okay, I type in real estate. Instead of going down to the next thing below, click on the blue button. Once you do that, so once I type in real estate, I could go ahead and start pulling up all of the groups. And that's what we're looking for here. I want to pull up all of the real estate related groups. Once I do that, this is going to be awesome, because I could pull up all of the real estate groups. And if you want to, narrow it down from a geographical standpoint, you can. So I would recommend, if you're looking for like a specific group in your area, you could put real estate Indianapolis or real estate Chicago, just to kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about here, because that will allow you to pick up the right types of people. Now, real quick, once you join these groups, you're going to want to go to the members area on the Facebook group itself, you could start scrolling through and finding people that you would want to connect with. Again, most important thing here, you want to make sure that they are a real estate investor, and you're going to want to make sure that the activity, as far as like when they last made a post, was like within the last week or so. If it's been like over a month or maybe a couple months, pass. Don't try and reach out to them. That's what I would highly encourage you to do. And that's a really great way to go ahead and start finding the right types of cash buyers on Facebook. You just start going on there, click on their profile as you're in the group. Once you're in the group, you could click on the members. You go in there, click on it, go to their profile, and you could send them a message. I recommend sending them a message first before adding them as a friend. Once you connect with each other through Messenger, then I would recommend sending a friend request, because then, the relationship between you has, taken a new step as far as like you guys being able to do business together. So what I want to recommend, stick around. We're going to be talking about getting your potential cash buyers, what to say to them on the phone, getting the specific criteria in order to make sure that they are a real cash buyer. What happens if you don't vet your cash buyers? And I'm going to walk you through my process. Again, this is for you to just rip off and repeat. So that is coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back. Are you facing a roadblock with getting started in real estate? This is an obstacle a lot of brand new investors face. Building a rock solid foundation is key to building your investing empire. I can tell you on page 95 of my book, Right Flipping Now, I address how you can build a lasting foundation that won't topple over when you're on the third floor. Do not avoid laying the proper foundation for your business. I've made this drop dead simple for you to just rip off and use within your own real estate investing business. Grab a copy of my book now at getmyflippingbook.com, and you can have the confidence you need to find and flip deals consistently month after month. I have copies of my book available at getmyflippingbook.com, and you can have a step-by-step proven plan for making profits on your very first deal, or maybe that second deal, closing within the next 30 to 60 days. Go to getmyflippingbook.com. Getmyflippingbook.com. Hey there, welcome back. I am so excited. We are going to be sharing some great information here, and it's going to be really coming down to talking to your potential buyers on the phone. Now, you should always speak to your buyers on the phone before you add them to your list. Now, we've gone over some Facebook stuff, some LinkedIn stuff. We went over gosection8.com. The main thing that I really want to cover here is what should you actually really say to them. So say, for instance, I get somebody on the phone from gosection8.com. I've got their phone number. The thing that I'm going to really want to talk to them about is, first of all, tell me a little bit about the property, you get into that groove. So let's kind of do this. Mike and I are going to role play here really fast. So you could get a good gauge of really what you should say. So I'm going to call. Mike's going to be the person that I just found on gosection8.com. So I'm going to do the little ring here. Bring.
Hello.
Oh, hey, Mike. This is Jason Lucchese. I just saw your ad on gosection8.com. Do you have a quick minute?
Yeah.
Cool. So your property on 1511 Main Street here, I saw that it was on gosection8.com. I'm a real estate investor here in town, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm coming across properties that are very similar to yours, and I wanted to see if you might be interested.
Okay. What do you got?
Yeah, well, like I was saying, the property that you have listed here is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. I am coming across those properties. I don't have anything currently in inventory, but we do come across properties from time to time, and I wanted to see if you might be interested in looking at what we have.
Yeah, I'm always looking to buy. When you get something, just let me know.
Okay, and let me ask you this: are you looking mainly just for 3-bedroom, 1-bath properties?
I'm mainly looking for 3 1s, 3 2s, 1,000 square feet.
Okay, Okay. And what like price range do you typically want to stay in for like buying the property?
Well, I'm in Marion County, so I really like to stay, 40 to 100,000. That's typically the area.
Okay. And do you want these properties, you want to be able to rehab them yourself, or do you want these properties like rent ready? Like what's your preference there?
Well, I'm looking to do some light rehab. I don't want anything that just needs to be like a tear down, but I'm renting them out. So I want to rehab them a little bit and then rent them out as a cash flow property.
No, that's awesome. I saw what you did here with this property on gosection8.com, and you did a really great job. It looks like you did the floors and the paint looks really great. Is that typically the types of properties that you're looking for? Like, make them look real nice like that?
Yeah, carpet, paint, a little bit of a cosmetic work. I don't want to do electrical or, anything like a structural wise, but maybe like light electrical stuff, outlets, updating things, but nothing like rewiring the house.
Okay. No, that's great. And I also do stuff in Marion County as well. That's our bread and butter area. Let me ask you this. Is there a specific title company that you use? Because the main reason why I ask is I do work here with other title companies, and I'm completely fine with us closing deals at your title company. Is there a specific one that you have?
Not really. I've used a couple. I've used Meridian Title and whatnot. So I'm not specific about which one.
Okay. So for like our next property, which one would you like to do the title with?
Meridian Title would be fine.
Okay. And do you have a specific person over there that you work with?
No, just whoever.
Okay. No, that's great. So what I'm going to do is I've got your email address here. Is it okay if I add you to our list? So when I receive a property, you're going to go ahead and get first notice of that.
Yeah. Do you mind me asking what email address you have?
Yeah, it's Mike at MikeBuysHomes.com.
Yeah, actually, if you could send it to my, that's the kind of the business email. If you can send it to my personal email address so I can take a look at them, it's Mike1 at MikeBuysHouses.com.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. I could send it to that. I'm jotting it down right now. Also with the information that you sent me. Is this the best phone that I can call you on? Is there a cell phone number?
Actually, this is my cell.
Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do too, because sometimes I know you're busy, I'm busy, I'll send you a text as well on top of the email, just to let you know of new deals, because I'm keeping the list really small of people that I send properties out to, because I want to make sure that, if something does come up, they could, whoever wants it, it's first come, first serve. Would that be okay with you?
I would appreciate that. Actually, I'm looking to buy right now. So as soon as you get something, I would appreciate getting it right away.
Okay, perfect. Well, Mike, I really appreciate your time. And if you need anything from me, this is my cell phone. So feel free, reach out whenever you want.
Okay, I appreciate that. What was your name?
Jason.
Okay, Jason. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks. So that's a really great way for you to just find out some simple information. And to be honest with you, most people are like how Mike was on the phone. They're not like mean in any way. If you do come across somebody mean, just quickly end the conversation. Just say, thanks. I'll, appreciate your time. Bye. Just get rid of them as quickly as possible, because I will tell you this, you don't want to work with any jerks in your business. It's not fun. So I highly encourage that to be part of your regimen when it comes to talking to folks. And I want to point out a couple of quick things here. You saw what I was discussing. I discussed with him the keys of really finding out about his business, his wants, his needs. But I also want to point out to you the best way to find out if somebody's a real cash buyer or not is finding out their title company. And the best thing you could do is find out the name of the title company that they like to close deals with. Mike threw, kind of a punch to the gut there when he said there is several different title companies that he closed with, which is completely fine. I would find out which was the last that they closed with. And that will be able to tell you if the person is actually closing deals. Yes, I know the property on Go Section 8, is theirs. So let's find out. Let's take it a step further. Let's contact the title rep and find out if Mike is truly closing deals. Maybe Mike does close deals, but he maybe only likes to, buy and hold like 8 to 10 properties per year. Maybe that's Mike's deal. Maybe he's not flipping deals every single month. Is that okay? Absolutely. If the person is at least going to the title company and the title rep confirms that yes, they bought that property, they bought it with cash, that's cool. That's somebody that I would put on the list. But if you contact that individual at the title company and they say, yeah, I have no idea who that is, they've never closed a deal with us, that's a good indication that person's probably not going to be the right fit to be on your list, and you probably shouldn't waste any time on them. So that's what I would strongly encourage. I would strongly recommend that, because that's going to take it to the next level as far as you finding the right people. Because if somebody says they have a list of 500 people, I would probably say that 1 to 5% of them are actually real cash buyers. So it doesn't matter as far as like quantity you have. I would rather you have quality. The other thing I recommend is just asking good questions to the person on the other end of the line. Questions lead to confessions. That's one of my favorite things that I love to do, is I'll just ask them like questions in a way that doesn't sound like I'm trying to nag. Because once you start nagging, they could tell by the tone of your voice, and then it just doesn't really sit well. So I would highly encourage you to just ask questions, have them roll off the tongue, get comfortable doing it. Like Mike and I just did a role play right there. Do some role playing with maybe like a friend, a spouse, a partner, and get used to asking questions, until the friend is like, man, you just asked way too many questions. Then, start thinking about, okay, I won't ask as many questions, but at least it'll get you over the hump of, hey, I don't want to make any calls, to, yeah, I'm going to make, 10, 20 calls today. I'm going to talk to, 10, 20 cash buyers. I'm going to put, 10 cash buyers on my list this week, and I'll be set. And then I could start finding, deals. So it's really important. You heard me talk to Mike. I find out what type of bedroom counts you want, bathroom counts, square footage. I found out price-wise where he wants to stay. He divulged that he wants to be in Marion County. You could do the same thing. Just ask questions, and they're going to lead to giving you the right types of answers that you need. So it's really important to do this. When you're starting off, you need to put together a plan. Put together the plan of being able to find your cash buyers and being able to know exactly what types of things that you're going to ask them. So you need to find out bedroom count, bathroom count, square footage count. You're going to need to know like where they want to buy. You're going to need to know price range where they want to buy. You're going to want to use the strategies that we talked about. I know we only were able to go over 3, but that's really all you need, because they're free. So go section8.com, LinkedIn, what I just recommended, Facebook, those are going to be great. That alone, like if you're looking from a geographical standpoint for finding people, you're going to find thousands there. So you're going to have access. It's free too. So it's absolutely free. That's going to be a great way for you to find those types of people. And you're going to be able to start building up a list. You could use MailChimp for having a great organization and automation tool within your business. So I just want to say thanks for listening to our No Flipping Excuses show. I want to remind you to just, if you like this episode or if you've liked our other episodes, please subscribe, like, and leave us a review. If you feel like we've deserved it, please leave us a 5-star rating. I highly encourage you to subscribe, because if you do that, you're going to get notification of where to go next. So do that, my friend. And also too, I want to let you know, we do have a freebie training for you. So if you would like to attend that, all you need to do is go to getmyflippingtraining.com. And it's absolutely free. It actually goes a little bit more in depth on some of the stuff that we did here. And you could also see it from a visual standpoint. So again, that is getmyflippingtraining.com. But other than that, I'm Jason Lucchese. It's been a blast with you here right now. Enjoy your day. Make it happen. Go flip some properties. And again, you have no flipping excuses. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks for listening. For show notes and links to anything discussed on today's program, visit noflippingexcuses.com. If you'd like to call the show, dial 317-900-1307, 24/7. Leave a message with your first name and where you're calling from, and include your question, comment, or concern. Who knows? You might end up on the air with Jason Lucchese. If you like the show, be sure to subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher. The links are posted at noflippingexcuses.com. Remember, you can close more deals now, make your own rules, and design and live an amazing life without having some jerk-off boss tell you what to do. Share noflippingexcuses.com with like-minded people you know who are ready for badassery, crushing it in real estate, and enjoying freedom to whatever you like, whenever you like it.